have been playing Nuzlocke for a little over a year now, and I think I've finally found the settings that I think make Nuzlocke the most fun. So this is going to be the best Nuzlocke randomizer settings for a Pokemon SoulSilver doubles Nuzlocke. So let's hop right into this. I'm going to run through these like you've seen it before. Okay, so the first setting that I always turn on is update stats to Generation 8. I think they did some good buffs to some moves and some stats that in Generation 8 that made the game a lot better. I don't change base statistics. I don't change Pokemon types. I don't change their abilities, and I don't change their evolutions. I don't want any of this to change because I want to know what Pokemon I'm going to have and what Pokemon I'm against when I see it in front of me. Now, if you want to do like an ultimate or ultra or super crazy randomizer, obviously you can turn all this stuff on, but I find it more fun to not do that. Always make sure to check these 3 boxes. This is the universal randomizer, by the way, if you're wondering which one I'm using. It says it up there. You can't see it at the top. This is the universal Pokemon randomizer. I always check these 3. Change impossible evolutions. That makes it so that certain Pokemon that would evolve through trade or in other ways that aren't possible will just evolve at a level. Now, if they were traded with an item, so a lot of times they'll evolve at a level with that item. There's a list you can Google and it'll tell you how to actually evolve them. Make evolutions easier. This is something that I turn on depending on the game. But there are Pokemon that don't evolve until like the 60s. These mostly come online in like Gen 5, but there are some of them in older games. But this makes it to where they will evolve at level 40 instead of level 60. So you don't get some Pokemon that are kind of pointless. Like if you look at your Dragonites or your Metagross or what's another one like Tyranitar, some of those don't evolve until like level 50, I think, somewhere around there. I can't remember off the top of my head. This will make it to where you can use those Pokemon pre-Elite Four, because basically if you're using level caps, you're not going to be able to use those Pokemon until the Elite Four, which is kind of boring. I remove time-based evolutions, obviously, because some games don't have time in them, so we want to be able to evolve those Pokemon. All right. Starter statistics and trades. I make starter Pokemon completely random. I don't necessarily like to know what I'm going to get. You can do a random basic Pokemon with 2 evolutions if you want to make it more like an actual starter, but I like to do random completely because it's more fun for me. I usually do no legendaries, and sometimes a legendary will pop up in my starters, which kind of sucks, but it's not really that big of a deal. I can usually pick something decent from the other 2. And if not, I can always start over. Static Pokemon, I do random completely. I don't swap legendaries and standards. I don't do random similar strength. I do random completely just because I think it's really fun to walk up to like the Lugia or the Ho-Oh, say in SoulSilver, like I'm doing right now, and it could be a freaking Togepi or a Wooper or something terrible, you know? I think that's more fun. Plus, I don't like legendaries, so this makes it to where I'm not guaranteed to get a Pokemon that I can't use. This gives me something I can use for those static encounters. In-game trades, I like to randomize both requested and given Pokemon. I think this adds a little spice to the game because sometimes you can get a really good Pokemon for a really bad Pokemon. And if you leave it unchanged, there could be a chance that you don't get to make that trade. At least by randomizing this, it gives you a chance to be able to make that trade and get a traded Pokemon if you want. I randomize items that are on them. This isn't a big deal, but if they have a held item, I randomize it just because it could be really funny to get a random held item from them. Moves and movesets, I don't do a whole lot here. Like I said before, I update the moves to Generation 8. I don't change any of their movesets. I don't want them to learn different things. Again, if you're going for like an extreme randomizer, you might want to randomize this stuff. But I don't, because I like to know what my Pokemon are going to learn, and I like to be able to Google what my Pokemon are going to learn. It helps me make decisions on what I'm going to be using. Faux Pokemon. I do random, and I used to do just random, but I do random even distribution now. So what this does is it attempts to distribute Pokemon evenly. Any other modifiers like similar strength take precedence with the goal of reducing Pokemon from appearing too often. So what this does is it means you're going to see more different types of Pokemon throughout the game. If you do random, you could theoretically roll the dice, and it'd be like a 1 in a million chance of this happening. Even more than that, it'd be astronomical odds. But every trainer could technically have just only Magikarp if you just selected random. This makes it to where they're going to have actual random different Pokemon. I like to do rival carry starter through the game because it makes it feel more like a rival battle if it's my starter versus their starter. Obviously, this can get you in trouble if one of the starters is a legendary and they pick it. I think one of my runs, my opposing rival trainer got a Lugia as his starter. Not great, not a lot of fun. But so it can kind of mess you over, but I like it because it makes it feel like an actual rival battle like in the anime. Force fully evolved. This is an important thing that you want to turn on. If you don't turn this on, you will be facing Magikarps all the way up to like level 65. I do Force fully evolved and I bump it down to level 30. This makes it more challenging. This means that everything that you face on a trainer Pokemon, and I'm not sure if I don't think it affects wild Pokemon. It's just faux Pokemon. It will force them to be fully evolved. So now you're not facing any level 30 Magikarps. They will be Gyarados. This just adds to the challenge of the game. You can do a percentage level modifier. So this is what I did for faux Pokemon. I bumped them about 10%, so that it's a little easier to not go over my level caps, and so that the game has a better leveling curve, and so it's more challenging. So if my level cap is, say, level 50, they could end up having like level 55 or something like that. So it's just a way to make the game more challenging. I felt like the game needed a little bit of a level boost, so I put that on there. Basically, I tried to make this SoulSilver run as hard as I could by just using the randomizer settings, and I think I did a pretty good job. I turned on double battle mode. I like double battles. I think it's fun. I did a singles Nuzlocke for my Fire Red, and now I'm doing double battles, and honestly, I think it made the game a lot more fun and a lot more interesting. So going forward, I might use double battle in every run I use. We'll see. I added additional Pokemon for boss trainers, important trainers, and regular trainers. All trainers in my run will now have 6 Pokemon. That's what this does. If you turn these on and bump it up to 5, it makes it so that all trainers will have 6 Pokemon, no matter what. Now, what it does is it sets them to the lowest member on their team. So say they have a level 5 on their team and a level 15 on their team. The other 4 Pokemon on their team will be level 5. It picks the lowest level Pokemon, which I wish there was a way to change that or modify that, and maybe they'll add that in the future as they update this. I hope so, because I would like it to be the highest level Pokemon on the team. But for now, that's what we have. That's another reason I did the level boost, is because I go into gym fights. They'd have a level 8 and like a level 16, and it would make 4 of their Pokemon level 8. So that level boost will bump them up a few levels and at least make it a little bit more difficult. I added held items to boss trainers, important trainers, and I gave them sensible items. I didn't want every trainer ever having an item, because then kind of that leads into like some thief shenanigans, which could be kind of broken. So I just did important trainers and boss trainers because I felt like the important fights, they should be able to use items because I get to use items. It adds to the challenge of the game. Wild Pokemon, I did random. Last run in my Fire Red run, you might have noticed that I had the catch 'em all mode on. I turned this off and I just put in the I did the species / dupes clause. So what this does, what Gotta Catch 'em all mode does, is it makes every route have completely different Pokemon no matter what. But what happens is, if you don't get an encounter that you might have wanted, say there's a Tyranitar on Route 1 and you don't get it, there can no longer be a Tyranitar on Route 2. There can't be a Tyranitar until you go all the way through the routes, all of the Pokemon, and get back around to where the Tyranitar was in the Pokedex. So you're not going to get a Tyranitar if you see one and don't get it. So I turned that off, and I just did the species / dupes clause. This will make it so that I won't get any dupes still, but I have a chance to get Pokemon that I may have missed out on for whatever reason earlier in the game. I don't use legendaries. I don't like legendaries. I think they make the game way too easy. The enemies will be allowed to have legendaries. So this is another thing that will make your game much more difficult if you turn this on. I did randomized held items on Pokemon just because I think it's fun and because it's challenging. Already, I did ban bad items. So if Pokemon are going to have randomized held items, I want to ban the bad ones because I want to only have good items. Because this challenge is already difficult enough, I don't need to be getting mail for every item that I get. Again, I did a level boost on wild Pokemon, so I've got this set to, I think, about 5%, somewhere around there, 5-6%. Probably in the future, I'll bump this to closer to 10%. That way, they'll gain more levels, and I'm not facing, like, level 2s forever in the beginning of the game. All right, TM, HM tutors. I did random TMs. That's all that I changed, I'm pretty sure, on this page. TM, HM compatibility, unchanged. Oh, and then random move tutors. So basically, move tutors will have random moves. TMs will be randomized. So you will get a unknown TM basically every time you get one. That's all I really did on that one. Field items, I did random even distribution, and I banned bad items. That way, what this does is it controls the number of times each item is placed. So you don't get a random... You don't get a rare candy for every single item you find, or the same TM over and over again, or get like 10 leftovers or something like that. And I did ban bad items because, again, I made the game as difficult as I could, and so I didn't want to be picking up mail because it's really, really lame and boring to be picking up mail. Special shops are pretty cool. This is a nice thing for this game I'm playing right now. So what this is there's the main shopkeeper, and if in their shop they have a side shop, another person, you can randomize that special shop, and you can ban bad items and regular items, and you can balance the shop, and you can guarantee evolution items. So this gives you access to way better items, but they have a fair cost. So it's not like I can buy 10,000 TM whatever flamethrowers for 1 Pokebuck. They'll actually cost a pretty fair amount. So I really like this special shop thing. This is nice for games that have those side shops, which SoulSilver does. Misc tweaks. I turned on fastest text. I did give the national dex at the start. If you do not give the national dex at the start, there are certain games that will be broken. So some of your Pokemon will not evolve if you don't have this. I think it uses Fire Red, Leaf Green. Yeah, that's the only one it says it's necessary for. I turned it on just in case, just to be safe, so that I have the national dex, just to make sure that it doesn't bug out my game. Lowercase Pokemon names, this is just a personal thing. I like them lowercase. It's easier to tell what they are, and I think it looks nicer. Faster HP and XP bars. I don't know if this actually worked when I turned this on, but what this does is it speeds the game up. You're not waiting on the XP bar to go up for forever, and you're not waiting on an HP bar to go down for forever. This helps me get more play done in each session and helps make my videos a little bit more snappy and keep them a little bit more together. All right, that is all of my randomizer settings. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. I would be happy to answer any of them.